I think the chances of finding extraterrestrial life is quite large on other planets and on exoplanets.
Chances of finding life in the 21st century, I would say, are probably fairly high.
Extraterrestrials as little green men, probably not very high. Extraterrestrials as perhaps bacterial life or some type of viral life, probably at least a little higher chance, if we can get there to have a look.
I think it's impossible to put any sort of quantitative assessment on the chances of success.
And that's the issue, it's an incredibly inaccessible environment at the moment. It takes an awful lot of money, a lot of investment, a lot of time and a lot of intellectual capacity to get there.
The chances of finding extraterrestrial life before the end of this century, I think, are probably slim. The chances of finding potential places where they might be, I think, are very high. But the chances of actually locating life itself, probably a little slim. But I could be wrong.
But in our own solar system, we would need some more missions and some more funding. We would have to land on the icy moons. We have to land on Mars to really be sure that there is life there. And this is probably, those missions are quite expensive, and they will probably not take place in the next 50 years or so.
I think that what we could find is almost anything between something that is corresponding to the very early stages on Earth, before there's life at all. Very complex chemistry, very complex autopoietic cells, well beyond anything we can do in the laboratory.
And so we have astronomers actually looking for signatures of life in terms of atmospheric gases on exoplanets. I think that technologically that's going to be achievable probably in a timescale of tens of years, so that's a possible route where we may find evidence of life elsewhere.
But one thing we do know is that we're getting much better at building missions to go to places that might have habitable environments. So missions to the surface of Mars, missions to icy moons, detection of exoplanets around other stars. And all of these things give us at least a chance for looking for habitable environments elsewhere in the universe, which itself will lead on to making better assessments of whether there's life there.
We are also looking at several missions around likely candidates which may produce the second genesis of life in the solar system, particularly the icy moons around Jupiter and Saturn. I think the chances of life in those localities is probably very low, but of course because they're in reach, we've got the ability to send craft to those places and actually sample them directly for signs of life. So if there's something there, I think there's a good chance of finding it possibly in the next 50 to 100 years, or at least evidence of it.